Andrew Tate has appeared on Tucker Carlson's podcast, and this has gone absolutely viral. So much so that Ben Shapiro made a reaction to it in which he took certain clips from the podcast and gave his own take on what Andrew and Tucker were discussing. One part Ben absolutely agreed with Tate on was when he said that racism only exists to divide the lower class people. He stated that when a rich black person and a rich white person meet, they don't discuss their differences, but that the lower classes do. Ben agreed with this and said that people prefer to associate with their social class rather than their race.
This sort of classism argument, that the reason that this is being pushed is on behalf of the upper class elites. He's right in one sense and I think incorrect in another. So he's certainly right that when you go to upper class enclaves, the amount of racism is virtually non-existent because, again, people tend to identify by class more than they do by race. If you go to very poor areas of the United States, very often you see black and white people living together pretty much okay, right? Go to the rural South and you see this actually a fair bit. And if you go to very rich areas like San Francisco, you see very rich black and white people living right next to each other with no actual gap. So why is it that the elite, or what you would call the matrix, are pushing the racism narrative? I don't think that that's necessarily for the preservation of economic power. I think that that is because a lot of those people actively believe that people who are not like them are bad.
Another thing that Ben absolutely agreed with is when Tate said that Greta Thunberg and Zelensky meeting was nothing more than a PR stunt, implying that Greta has no reason to fly into a war zone in Ukraine as she has nothing of value to add to it. Ben added on to this and said that Greta was just a child who was exploited for her political point of view and used as a puppet to stir up the media.
Not wrong. Correct. I mean, when he talks about the Matrix is, this kind of generalized net between people like the Greta Thunbergs, who really should not be a world famous figure. She was a child when she was exploited for her political point of view. And people like Vladimir Zelensky, who's an actual world leader in the middle of a war. Like that, the obvious imbalance there, but the attempt by the Matrix to paint that as a sort of meeting of equals is ridiculous on his face.
What do you think of this situation? Comment down below. I will continue to bring you stories of the Tates on a daily basis, so leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell.